Take over for Claire.
No.
Franklin, now.
Well, the time is almost here. The conclusion of the Jurassic World trilogy is almost upon us, so what better time to look at the piece of shit that preceded it? Oh, this movie promised so much. With the undeserved praise of the previous film, which is looking pretty good at this point, it's no wonder the hype for Fallen Kingdom was artificially high. But as you may have expected,
It was a lie. It was a lie. Bastard! It was all a lie!
not only is it the worst movie in the franchise by a fucking mile, but it's one of the worst movies, period. It's not as bad as something like After Earth, but as far as summer blockbuster sequels go, it couldn't be much worse. It's a bad movie, a real fucking bad movie. I'm not hyped for Dominion at all, but I couldn't imagine anything topping this. And what's funny is, it's not for any specific reason. It's not the plot in and of itself, there's not really any of that feminist nonsense, it's just bad. Almost every scene has something wrong with it. It's really amazing. I don't know how a franchise so big could possibly sink this low, but I do know for that reason that most of this does bear explaining, so we best get to it. This is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. The worst one. We kick things off on Isla Nublar, in which a couple of assholes are trying to obtain what's left of the Indominus Rex from the previous movie. This, of course, means going into the area with the mosasaur, but according to them, it's all good.
Relax. Anything in you'd be dead by now.
So offhand, we know that's not true, and if you're wondering how they're gonna explain the fact that they think this, they don't. They just needed an excuse to be doing this, so they obtain what they need before promptly exiting the movie. And on land, the extreme stupidity continues.
What is going on? I can't hear you!
It sounds like you're trying to say something's behind me, but as we all know, everything here is dead. So the Rex shows up, the same one from the first movie and the last movie if you don't know, resulting in a relatively decent chase scene. Apart from him dropping the device for no reason, resulting in the gate not closing. But it seems like he just made it. I gotta say, I'm getting a little tired of that trick. But since the gate was left open, we're probably gonna be seeing a lot more of it. Kind of a dumb design decision when you think of it, having the gate facing the main ocean. Probably because it wasn't that way in the previous movie. But then I guess we couldn't keep reusing the same death. Ooh, a flashy title screen. That'll get your attention. The lava-themed design is due part to the fact that the island is on the brink of exploding, resulting in the dinosaurs going extinct for good. And letting that happen would be inhumane. I never said there is no political nonsense. Jeff Goldblum, in one of his 2 cameos, explains that they best leave it alone before something goes terribly wrong. Again.
What I mean is that in the last century, we amassed a landmark technological power, and we've consistently proven ourselves incapable of handling that power.
How the fuck would that happen? Claire, on the other hand, has no intention of letting that happen, and has teamed up with a bunch of cliches to ensure the dinosaurs' rights are protected.
You gotta stop letting your mom shop for you.
You don't need to insult me every time someone pisses you off.
Dude, I'm a doctor, not a telemarketer.
Oh no, they're extremely cliche. I know I keep saying that in every video, but I kind of like how this franchise didn't go down that route in the past, when comic relief wasn't a fucking necessity. Because, spoiler, they're not funny. Luckily, the government does the right thing and doesn't intervene, so Claire goes off to meet the main villain of the movie, Eli Mills. Granted, it's been blatantly obvious who the main villain is in every movie, but come on, look at him! They're not even trying to hide it! He currently runs the Ben Lockwood Foundation, and I'll explain what that is in a second, but first, listen to this.
What they did here was a miracle.
I still believe that.
So do I, Claire.
Give me a second. You don't give a shit about human life at all, do you? So, you might be wondering, who the fuck is Ben Lockwood? Well, he's John Hammond's old business partner, who was never ever mentioned. Ever. But in actuality, he's John Hammond too. We all know that. They needed an old guy with a beard for the plot. And that's why he's here. It's also noted that he has a granddaughter, as his real daughter died in a car accident. I'm sure it means nothing. And they devise a legal plan to transport the dinosaurs to a new island. And at this point in the movie, I was wondering, what the fuck happened to Sorna? I mean, everything on Sorna is dead, as one of those websites explained around the film's release, but it's never really mentioned in the movie. Really, 2 fucking films spent at this place, and they don't even acknowledge it. Anyway, it turns out Blue, the raptor from the previous movie, can't be easily tracked down. And even though they can't rescue every species anyway, it's imperative that they track down the most dangerous one. So she has no other option but to track down Owen, who is building a cabin with a pile of logs and a hammer opposed to a proper drill. What? It's like I said, we can't even get through one scene. Not one scene without something stupid.
Seriously? I can't believe you think that you left me.
Okay, some movies introduce a male and female character and reveal that they've broken up. It's stupid, cliche, and should stop. On the other hand, sometimes they have the male and female get together and be broken up by the next sequel. It's also stupid, cliche, and sometimes disappointing depending on the characters. In the case of Jurassic World, they've done both. They literally have them broken up at the beginning of the first movie, get together, and then break up in between sequels.
Terribly ingenious, highly imaginative, incredibly inventive.
Why the fuck would you do this? So they can get together again? Way to think outside the fucking box. So it turns out Owen already knows what's going on, and you know what? I don't feel like explaining this shit. Let somebody else do it.
So what, I should just build my own cabin, play pool, and drink beer all day while these dinosaurs go extinct?
Dum 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 dum.
Yeah, I like pool.
Smart, 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 smart.
You're just gonna let her die?
Dum 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 dum.
Well, yeah.
Smart, 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 smart.
But he watches some baby videos of Blue and realizes he has to do something. Meaning it's time for some more cliche shit.
Would you ride a 1,000-pound horse that's been abused all its life?
I rode my motorcycle through the jungle with a pack of raptors.
We're not compatible.
You get it? He's a nerd. That's why he's responding like this. Even though he's going to an island full of dinosaurs. Yeah. We're introduced to the hunter character of the movie, which is quite an interesting topic. In previous movies, they've ranged from being interesting to outright fan favorites, never falling into the evil hunter stereotype. What do you think he is? Ah, I sense some romantic tension. How long has it been? And they come across yet another dinosaur from the first movie, because for some reason people know this.
Never thought I'd see one in real life.
You do realize you're standing in what used to be a theme park, right? You could literally pay to see them up close. They get the power back on, quite easily, and head out to find Blue.
These are powerful sedatives. One too many and she could have respiratory failure. Also, I'm not as soft and witless as your comment implies.
Okay, I take back what I said about no feminist nonsense. He manages to find Blue, again pretty easily, in a somewhat iconic location. I guess she just happened to be there, and it would seem that she even remembers him.
How touching.
But everything goes wrong almost immediately because this guy's a fucking idiot. I mean, yeah, the hunter's bad, obviously, but that doesn't explain why this guy did that. It wasn't the plan. So he shoots Blue while being PG-13 to death, and the evil hunter shoots Owen with a tranq dart. He does plan on leaving him for dead, but why kill him? That'd be ridiculous. They do take the comic relief captive after a pointless standoff, because she's the only one who can keep Blue alive, even though she's never seen a dinosaur up close, but it's obviously not complicated. Luckily, Owen gets woken up by a dinosaur because that's how tranq darts work, and manages to crawl away, despite being right next to lava, because that's how lava works. Speaking of which, why did they plan this right as the island was about to explode? I mean, a few minutes later and the whole thing would have been fucked. Meanwhile, Claire and the other comic relief proceed to show off just how fucking stupid this writing is.
Stop! It's not the T-Rex. Probably.
You know, I don't expect anyone in this movie to know anything about dinosaurs. I mean, why would they? But I think it's pretty common logic that a T-Rex is big. That hole isn't. Instead, a Bayona shows up, and I gotta admit, it's a decent scene. You need something real stupid to mess it up. That'll do it. They manage to escape just as Owen shows up and make their way to one of those gyrosphere things, which they don't seem to notice at first. And if I had to give this movie credit on one thing, it would be the fact that they scrapped the scene when a Spinosaurus shows up and opted to go with a Carnosaurus instead. Which I really appreciate because I am sick of those fucking fans whining about the T-Rex being killed in the third movie. There was nothing wrong with that decision, get over it. They all end up in the ocean, unfortunately not drowning. And you know what they say, who needs quality when you got references? You see, it's just like the one from the second movie. How nostalgic.
Beautiful. You're gonna feel that when you wake up.
Yeah, you see that? He's not just in it for the money, he enjoys causing pain. Makes him twice as interesting. Still don't know why they timed it like this, so they'd be escaping at the last second, but luckily for them, they left one single convenient truck behind, leaving them plenty of time for jokes.
You okay, my dad? Not yet, kid.
And upon making it to the boat, would you look at that? There's a convenient hat lying around, meaning Claire can disguise herself as one of them. Even though she's kind of been relevant with the whole theme park in the past, and has been publicly outspoken about saving the dinosaurs. And I guess these two are just fucking invisible. And I know this is supposed to be a sad scene, but there's just so much stupidity going on during it, I just don't care. I said I don't care. So, if you haven't figured it out yet, this guy's bad. He's the bad guy, the main bad guy, and he reveals his bad, evil plan to sell the dinosaurs as weapons. Because who needs a tank when you can strap a rocket launcher to a wild animal and hope it works out?
The Soviets used disease-bearing rats against the Germans at Stalingrad.
Yes.
Really, that's the example you're going with, because that actually makes sense. This doesn't. They've even used the Indominus Rex DNA to create a new hybrid, the Indoraptor. Perfect for hunting and killing, and you might think it's a bad idea, but believe me, it's gonna work out this time.
And thanks to Owen Grady's research, it follows human command.
I know, that sounds impossible, but believe me, an example to how it follows human command is coming. Believe me, it's coming. Meanwhile, Maisie, the aforementioned granddaughter, has been eavesdropping and tells John Hammond too what they've been planning.
It's way past your bedtime. Let's talk about this in the morning. But Maisie, I'll find out tomorrow.
Obviously, he doesn't believe her in a real cliche manner, but I can't really blame him. I mean, who would believe something this stupid? I mean, why the fuck would they bring dinosaurs there and hold an auction at the home of somebody who doesn't want it happening? I mean, I'm sure they've soundproofed it, but what's the fucking point? Is this the only location for that kind of shit? Seriously, why would you do this? Say what you want about Jurassic World, but it wasn't this fucking dumb. Back on the boat, the three idiots have somehow not been seen, and they locate Zara, who has been left completely unattended with the one dinosaur they desperately need. Turns out she needs a blood transfusion, which, again, they can just get from any dinosaur because fuck logic.
You gotta be kidding me.
You do know that any carnivore is gonna want to kill you if you wake it up via syringe. But for some reason that doesn't happen until some guards walk by and notice the open door and don't look into it, instead just closing it. And apparently that's enough to wake it up, because why wouldn't it be? And I guess there's nobody around to hear it.
Shocking.
So they save the raptor using the viable blood transfusion, and Maisie overhears a conversation between Mills and Dr. Wu, who again is in the movie.
You don't have the faintest comprehension of what I'm doing here. Do you understand the complexity of creating an entirely new life form?
I know.
Oh, well, he's changed a bit. I guess they realized that he's a bad guy, and he better damn well act like one. Also, how the fuck did he not see her? He explains that the Indoraptor isn't yet suitable due to not having an authority figure, and he responds with a very cliche, that sounds expensive response. Because they really have to make sure that the audience knows that this is the bad guy. We finally get a glimpse of the brand new Indoraptor, resulting in Maisie getting caught and locked in a room. Ah, that'll put a stop to your heroic antics. And meanwhile, back in the ship, we have this weird scene. Okay, I know when you break up with somebody, you're supposed to lie right next to them, but how the fuck did her hand get in his shirt? Then there's this.
Take your own damn samples.
What a nasty woman.
You can look up yourself what that's referencing if you want, but I don't think this is the right place to promote your political side. It's kind of pathetic. The comic relief gets separated, and it would appear that somebody's finally noticed them. About fucking time. But more in a minute, as we have what may be a contender for the dumbest scene in the movie, as John Hammond too knows what he's been up to, and is none too pleased.
Pick up that phone. I want you to call the police. It'll be easier if the story comes from you.
That's a solid plan. I'm sure he'll do it. That reminds me. Hello? Yeah, that whole thing about you murdering everybody on the block, I'm afraid I can't morally let that go. You'll have to call the police. Well, yes, I'm the only one who knows. Now get to it. A good man. Good man. So, John Hammond 2's not getting a sequel, and Owen and Claire finally get caught.
You should have stayed on the island. Better odds.
With this ship's security, I don't think so. They get locked up, and Mills goes through the whole "you're just as bad" spiel, in which he's partly right. And Maisie commences a daring escape because she just can't stand idly by. And keep that in mind for later. But this means the bidding can finally begin. And it's about time I explain how fucking stupid this is. Normal dinosaurs being sold as weapons. How is this supposed to work? I mentioned this in my video on why Dominion is gonna suck, because it's never explained. At least the hybrid is supposed to obey you, but how the fuck are you gonna get this thing to listen? And even if you do and it doesn't kill you, they're still animals, not fucking Godzilla. If they get shot, they die. That's why the new movie makes no sense, and it's why this movie makes no sense. The other two idiots managed to break out, and this would be a unique idea, but you gotta question why they wouldn't design the cages to withstand this. It's kind of what that breed's known for. They come across Maisie, who's pretty upset about the demise of John Hammond too, and they finally unveil the Indoraptor itself, the perfect weapon for the modern age.
What is that thing?
To the untrained eye, an average dinosaur. I don't mind the way these new hybrids look, but they're nothing that special. I mean, fuck, the South Korean series Sweet Home sees a kid holding an Indominus Rex toy through the entire series. He even calls it a T-Rex at some point. That's a fucking monster-themed show, and they thought nothing of the Indominus Rex design. What does that tell you? But it turns out the Indoraptor can be controlled. All you gotta do is aim a laser at something, press a button, and that's it. Perfect for killing a single enemy, and just right for an armored tank. What the fuck? But it's okay, it's just a prototype. It's not like they'd actually...
20 million!
Or not? I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
That thing can't leave this building.
So he releases a dinosaur into the room to disturb the bidding, because again, what could possibly go wrong? Also, this looks really stupid. He stops it from being moved while the other dino escapes, I'm sure it won't hurt anyone, and then leaves the hybrid unattended, in which the evil hunter shows up, tranks it, and enters the cage, allowing him to rip out its tooth and finally complete his dino necklace. Because that's the subplot I wanted to see conclude. But apparently it's immune to being tranked, and yes, you're seeing this right, it's smiling at the camera. This a fucking cartoon? Also, having a death scene like this in a PG-13 movie is just stupid. The Lost World did something like this, but that wasn't up close. As a result, it had what may have been the best death scene in the franchise. This isn't. And why the fuck didn't these idiots just leave? Didn't they notice that guy opening the cage? Hey, you guys don't think anybody's messing with that hybrid, do you? And the bullshit continues as we have what may be one of the most out-of-place plot twists ever.
Lockwood never had a grandchild. He just wanted his daughter back.
He created another.
He made her again.
Well, that came out of fucking nowhere. You could argue that it was somewhat hinted at, but this is about as bad as pacing gets. I could say it's completely pointless, but unfortunately it's not, and we'll get to that at the end. The comic relief actually gets a decent moment in which he injects Dr. Wu, allowing him to be stored away for the next movie. And they let the raptor out, resulting in a convenient explosion which will, as you know, affect the climax, because why the fuck not? What again did they call this thing?
The perfect weapon for the modern age, built for combat, with tactical responses more acute than any human soldier.
Yeah, it just can't smell. It's literally right above them. It eventually catches on through a different means, and amongst the chaos, Maisie runs off. Now, you know how I said to remember a scene when she's climbing across the roof, showing off a great amount of bravery? Well, now she's hiding under a blanket. That's right, a scene so stupid that when I saw it in the trailer, I thought it had to be some kind of dream sequence. But no, it's real. It's the fucking real thing. Then, after the tranks fail, Owen gives up. You do see the open door, don't you? But then Blue shows up, and we finally get another epic dino battle.
Follow me! I know a way on the other side!
Until they escape through the window. Yep, that's about all there is to it. It's kind of a letdown compared to the previous movie. And it's not looking too good for them, but then Claire shows up because she hasn't yet, and uses the laser method, which they mentioned earlier, to trick the Indoraptor into killing itself, which fails. But then Blue shows up, again, putting an end to this cliche climax once and for all. And if you think this can't get any worse, you're wrong. Believe me, you're wrong. Because the previous explosion has released hydrogen cyanide throughout the building, and the dinosaurs are about to die. So Claire contemplates letting them out, and it's not too surprising. I mean, without her, a lot of the shit in both these movies wouldn't have happened. Yeah, you could expect Owen to at least attempt to stop her, but then again, that is a big shiny red button. Real big and very shiny.
Claire, you press that button, there is no going back.
Okay, I'll give the movie some credit. I mean, to end on a depressing yet realistic note like this, I can't really complain too much. Okay, what's the reasoning? What's the fucking reasoning?
I had to. They're alive. Like me.
That's right. For that reason, she justifies an action that will result in the death of many people. This is one of the most fucked up moments I've ever seen in a movie of this magnitude. One of the biggest sci-fi franchises in movie history, and this is what we get.
Positively shocking.
Fuck this movie, and fuck all who enjoy it. So to wrap this shit up, Mills gets PG-13 to death, again not effective up close. Maisie is not placed in a home for the criminally insane. I really feel bad for that actress. And Jeff Goldblum ends the movie off with an I told you so. And I really think this suits the franchise quite well.
How many times do you have to see the evidence?
How many times must the point be made? We're causing our own extinction. Too many red lines have been crossed.
And our home has, in fundamental ways, been polluted by avarice and political megalomania. This change was inevitable from the moment we brought the first dinosaur back from extinction. We're going to have to adjust to new threats that we can't imagine. We've entered a new era. Welcome to Jurassic World.
See what I mean? It just fits perfectly. And that was Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and it just couldn't be any worse. I really mean that. Apart from expanding on politics, which this film kind of did, and the next film no doubt will do, this is as bad as it gets. There's not really a whole lot left to say about it. It's close to being so bad it's good, but that's clearly not the idea. This is a legitimate high-budget summer blockbuster film that's so fucking awful you can barely even get through a scene without questioning the director's IQ. Not to mention a bunch of other stupid ideas like characters meant only for comic relief, death scenes that don't belong in this kind of movie, at least not up close, and an overall premise that makes absolutely no sense, and unlike the previous things I mentioned, it's probably gonna be the same for the next movie. There's still a lot else wrong with this film, a whole fucking lot, but like I said, this is kind of a scene-for-scene deal. It's just that bad. And I do expect Dominion to be possibly better since they got the slightly less shitty director back, but I still wouldn't expect anything that grand. Really, it's probably gonna suck. I'm the analyst, and remember kids, if you're only here because your dad screwed an SUV, then I guess that gives you the right to drive drunk. It's only fair.